Good morning, this is Dave from the National Weather Service, November 10th. So I'm just going to be quick with the matrix here. We're expecting kind of a high threat across southwest Montana with a refreeze, mixed precip, and gusty winds. Less shower activity northwest Montana. We're expecting some bands to form this afternoon, so there could be some spotty areas that see some wintry impacts. And then a wave moves through on Wednesday. There could be enough cold air in some of the valleys that could see some initial mixed precip and then snow at the passes. Okay, so let's look at what's happening this morning. I'm recording this video at 8:30, so we'll go to our main webpage, and if you click on observations under current conditions, show conditions, and so we'll zoom in first to northwest Montana, basically explain what I'm seeing. So last night the Arctic air did start filtering into, so I'm going to click on more observations here, all to show me more. So here's that new sensor at Mirage Pass. It's 10 degrees right now, and just expecting temperatures to kind of slowly cool today into the single digits. So they're getting some gusty winds right here on the curve south of Essex. It's gusting to 30 miles an hour. Click on it. Looks like it had a max gust of 39, so that could have happened yesterday or even with the initial burst of cold air this morning. Looking upstream, max winds have been around 40 miles an hour, so once this cold air kind of slides westward, it will eventually make it into the Flathead Valley. Right now there's kind of like a piece of the cool air is making it in there. That's why Kalispell has shifted to the northeast. Right now it's relatively dry, and they're just getting kind of a northeast wind. We don't really have any sensors on this mesonet to show Columbia Falls, but it's probably gusting in the 20s and 30s by now, potentially. You can see Polebridge has cooled off, and it's cold air is actually deep enough that it's making it up to this Hornet Raws. So let's go further south. Lincoln has already switched over. The Arctic boundary went through there. I think it was at 5 a.m. this morning. Click on this 3-day. So looking down here. So yeah, wind switched around 5 a.m. and now they're falling into the teens now. Helmville starting to feel some of the east wind, and once this cold air rushes westward, it'll start gusting in the 40s probably just west of this canyon here. Looking over here, it's already made it through McDonald Pass, 16 degrees, and they're getting some light snow. It's pushing westward. So this Arctic front is kind of, think about it as a wedge. Near the actual boundary, there's still some showers moving up over that boundary, and this will set up a situation where we could see some freezing rain along the boundary here this morning. Looking further south, it's already kind of making its way towards Boulder. This Elk Park is still feeling some of the milder temperatures, but this cold air will eventually make it down towards Butte by this afternoon. So what you're looking at is a model forecast for precipitation, kind of like the precip type, with a front that I drew on there. My front is more of what's really happening now, or what's going to happen this morning. As you can see, there's some showers just near Drummond later this morning that could be occurring behind the cold front. Could be more of a freezing rain trying to freeze on surfaces because of the cold air that's kind of rushing in. Just kind of showing you by this afternoon, these bands are trying to form, and we think that it's going to be more widespread of an impact across southwest Montana. So I was just kind of thinking about it earlier. I would probably tell my mom that maybe you shouldn't drive today east of Missoula if you're trying to get to like Helena or Butte, just because low visibilities, heavy snow, maybe even like icy conditions underneath the snow. I think this model is capturing it pretty well, but in between the bands actually could be some light precipitation, either in the form of freezing drizzle or just some light snow. By this evening, the convective showers have waned, and it's going to be more like light precipitation along the cold frontal boundary as it heads toward the Idaho-Montana border. 6 to 10 day outlook is showing above normal temperatures, near normal precipitation, but I just want to give you a caveat that even though it's showing above normal temperatures, there still could be cold pools developing in some of the valleys, which could allow temperatures to not warm as much, kind of like what we saw this last week. There is a system moving through Wednesday that actually could churn up the atmosphere a little. Still could be some narrow valleys that hold some of the cold air, and that's why we're thinking that there could be some mixed precip with that system. If you have any questions about today's storm, you can give us a call. Next briefing will be on Tuesday.